Moving on to laughter then, lightening the mood. So how important has laughter been getting through those dark times?
Do you know, I think laughter, and this sounds cheesy, but it's an antidote, isn't it? It really is. And I think laughter isn't to do with mood. It's more to do with like the things around you. It's an external thing, actually. And by that, what I mean is I could be in like the depths of despair and depths of PMDD, but then I see something funny or I hear something funny and I laugh and I belly laugh and it helps. And I think laughter is one of those things. It doesn't matter how bad you feel, it can just like almost like nudge you up a little bit. And there's times when, you know, I'm really struggling with my mood, and then my husband will send me like a reel or something of like a dog doing something stupid, or you know, something that's so stupid, and I'm like, I don't want to watch that stupid reel. I'm not watching it because I'm in a mood. And then I watch it and I'm just like tears streaming down my face because of this daft dog's done on an Instagram reel, and it's so undeep. I don't know what the right word is for that, but it's so surface level, and and I think that's why it works. It just takes you from the depths, and it just brings you out. Because I don't know that dog. I've got no personal connection to it. I've got no personal connection to the reel, and I probably will forget about it in 2 minutes time, but it's had the ability to just make me howl with laughter. So for me, little things like that, I just think so important.
Yeah, well, it's a change of mood, and I always say laughter's a reflex that you can't control as well, because I think we spend so much time in our heads thinking, but when something's funny, it's funny. And you can't, and probably the more you try and stop yourself, actually, the more you laugh.
Yes, yeah, and I think especially like, you know, if I'm in a mood and then my husband says something to make me laugh, I'm so annoyed with it. I'm so annoyed. But the more annoyed I get, the funnier it gets. And it really is an antidote. It really is.
Well, I'm very much like that because my daughter's got is autistic and has ADHD, and things can be really bad, and that's my route out of it has always been to make her laugh or say a stupid pun or whatever it is, because it just breaks that mood, doesn't it?
It's magic. It really is. And I think the world needs more of that, because we do take things really seriously, don't we? And I think sometimes, like, you know, again, me and my husband can be having a conversation, it feels so heavy, and life feels really heavy sometimes, doesn't it? And I just think if we can still laugh, and like you say, if it's a reflex, we can't help it anyway, but if you can find something to laugh about, then it's just going to make that dark, deep thing you're going through just feel a little bit brighter. Like, how could that ever be a bad thing?
It gives you a bit of even if it just gives you a bit of respite as well. It's not saying it's going to magically cure you or make you feel 100% better, but it's a rest, isn't it?
Definitely.
From the noises.
Yeah.
So do you use humour in your coaching with people, would you say?
When it feels safe to do that. So I know that some of the people that I work with, and also something that I have to really be mindful of, is where a person is in their cycle. So I could meet with them today and they're really upbeat and they're feeling good because they're day 3 of their cycle. They've got their period. Symptoms are in the past now. Happy days. And then in 2 weeks' time we meet again and they've just ovulated. So their symptoms are probably there and they're probably intense. So I have to be very mindful of that, actually. So it's always very much guided by them. But I actually work with somebody who is a comedian, and she brings PMDD into her stand-up, and she's amazing. She's so funny. And so I know that her and I can have that back and forth. And to lighten the mood, because she can do that. Whereas there's some clients that I work with that I just know, for them, they're not quite at that stage yet. And I guess part of my coaching is getting them to a point where it doesn't feel so heavy and where they can laugh about it. I've never really thought about it like that, actually. But I think when people first come to me, they can feel very vulnerable. Maybe they've just learned about PMDD, or they're coming to me because they're struggling. They're having problems with hormones in whatever way that looks like for them. And the whole goal is to get them to a place where it doesn't feel so heavy for them. And whether that means that, they we have conversations about them getting medical treatment, whether we have conversations about them looking after themselves better, or, you know, putting in boundaries. Actually, the whole thing really is getting them to a place where they can still live the life that they want on their terms, in spite of the hormone havoc that they've got. And humour's a really great way to do that, isn't it? So, yeah.
Well, it's great to hear there's a comedian doing it, because you know, I think I talk about the things that have been challenging to my mental health in my comedy, and it takes the power back.
Yes.
And then it empowers other people as well. So you know, for example, if she did a gig to your community, they would find it so healing, and that everybody, like, and cathartic, that everybody feels the same way.
That's it. And I think for her, that's what it's all about. It's you know, raising awareness, but it's also, there's always going to be people in her audience actually who can relate to what she's saying. So it's an important job that she's doing, really, and she's doing it through humour, and that's great, isn't it?
Yeah, and she's very brave to do that, because she'll face a lot of opposition of male comedians, and like, oh, another woman talking about periods.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, I'm sure that's one of her jokes, you know. I'm sure she even uses that, so yeah.
So, have you got a favourite joke you want to share with us?
Okay, I hope you're ready for this.
Okay.
I hope I deliver it right. A drum and 2 cymbals fall off a cliff. Badumch. There you go.
I like that. That's good.
My husband gave me that. He's a drummer.
Ah,
so he
right.
gave me that one.
Yeah.
So,
well, yeah, I'm a big Chandler fan from Friends, so I often go a boom after my jokes. So when my son got a drum kit, I was like, could you start coming to my gigs? And then every time I tell a joke, just do it a boom, so people know that's the punchline.
Well, he told me that joke last night, and like, it was one of those things that every time I remembered it, I kept laughing. So I was like, that's the one.
Yeah, I love that. Most people's jokes have been like this kind of silly, like dad jokes, I guess. So
yeah,
like,
I love a good dad joke. Yeah.
Yeah, it's brilliant.